Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is Future Man, Season 3, Episode 2, There Will Be Borscht. Welcome, everybody. Before I get started here, I'm going to take care of a little bit of business first. So, if you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. You're going to see that stuff down there. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see at the very end of this video, a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does, takes the outcomes of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. Up here is going to be dispatches from elsewhere. That's what's going to be up there. Dispatches from elsewhere. Also, if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below there. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the weekly schedule there. I change it out every week. I also post that on my Facebook page. And there's a Facebook group page which you guys can post stuff on and talk amongst yourselves. I also have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and a Patreon page. Those can all be found on Suspended Fanimation as well. All the links to that. So let's get to this, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch the episode. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. All right. Where were we? Our intrepid trio had escaped the elevator of the decathlon, made their way down to hair and makeup, and have killed everyone in hair and makeup, both hair and makeup. Susan St. Jackalope was looking through the studio for them. He's basically kind of going through the feeds, trying to find them, and of course, they're gone. And this is when this woman comes in. Her name is Mathers, and she's a marshal. Marshall Mathers. Did you get that joke, anybody? Marshall Mathers. I started laughing when it was said. It was a really stupid joke. It really was. But for some reason, it made me laugh. Now, if Marshall Mathers sounds familiar, that is the real name of, he goes by Eminem, by the way. So yes, Marshall Mathers is looking for our intrepid trio as well. And she is a natural born, which means that she came out of a vagina, which doesn't happen in the late 3100s much anymore, as people are come out fully grown out of a hyper sac and have robot families and robo dogs and all kinds of stuff like that. So just kind of disturbing. But yeah, so basically our trio takes a time travel device, a TTD, which looks like a little pocket watch. It looks like the Voyager time travel devices off of one of the Time Cops, which I thought was pretty damn funny. So there's a lot of in jokes in this thing. There's a lot of sci-fi jokes. There's probably shit that I haven't even gotten as of yet, but a hypersac sounds like a teen. No, a hypersac is never mind. I'm not going to go with there. So of course they end up in France first, and I love actually when they're talking about the time travel device, and Tiger of course has it, and she says, I don't know what this thing does, but all I know is it's keyed in my brain, and I pushed it with my brain thumb, is what she said, in order to get it to work. And excuse me. And I love how Wolf goes, that's a new and fresh concept. I like it. So this show is completely and totally aware of itself as well, and makes fun of some stuff, which I thought was fucking funny. Wolf honestly has the best lines out of this season, quite honestly. Especially the whole thing. I mean, he name drops at the drop of a hat, and he goes, Josh is like, does anyone know any French? And of course, Wolf raises his hand and goes, mais oui. I know a little bit of French when I was working with Jean-Claude Van, with JCVD. Let's just say I put the VD in JCVD. And Josh says to him, he goes, are you saying that you had sex with Jean-Claude Van Damme and gave him the clap? Yes. That's the reason why I learned French, because he was always screaming at me about giving him le clap, which I thought was fucking funny. It's just wrong on so many levels, but it makes sense since supposedly JCVD was an alleged cokehead So, and Wolf, of course, had his substance abuse problems as well, which I thought was pretty fucking funny. So, of course, what does Wolf do? He invents sliced bread 700 years before it's supposed to be invented, which causes the Time Bureau to find them and sends cops after them. And so they have to jump again. So they jump to Japan. Um, and of course, it just takes 1 week for fucking Wolf to pick a fight with somebody, with Soji. Uh, oh man, Soji the Honorable, because Soji thought that his tea was steeped just a little too much, just a little bit, and that was an insult to Wolf. So of course he decapitates Shoji and gets rid of an entire line of honorable shoguns in Japan, which of course sets off another flare and has our team traveling through time again. Only this time, Josh thinks it's Kansas. It's got to be Kansas, in the middle of Kansas. It could be modern day Kansas. It could be Wizard of Oz time Kansas. It's really Russia, 1915, during World War One, and they land in the middle of a farm where a woman is kind of pining over her husband who is left for war. Of course, Dasha is her name, and they end up working for Dasha. And Dasha has a little thing for Wolf. Actually, she has a big thing for Wolf, shall we say. And yeah, so they end up working on their farm. And of course, this is driving Tiger mad because she just really wants to just kill shit at this point. Yeah, and I mean, there's so many scenes in this that just made me fucking laugh. From well, let me go on to some of the other stuff that happened too. So Marshall Mathers ends up getting word that some timelines are crashing into each other, and that the big suck, which was theoretical before, is actually happening, where basically timelines are converging, they're getting sucked into one another, and time is going to eat itself essentially. And Marshall Mathers doesn't care. She just wants to get her 3 fugitives in time there. And this causes her, of course, to release the killing machine, which we find out the killing machine is they've gone back to ancient Sparta. They've harvested DNA from Spartans, put it together, along with some cybernetic implants and things like that, and made this gigantic. It looks like a wrestling dude with a sword, is pretty much what it looks like. Yes, the big suck. So going back to Russia, Josh, of course, is really good at harvesting turnips or beets, excuse me, harvesting those beets out of there. And, you know, Tiger's not having any more of this. She decides to go off to war because World War One is happening nearby in the distance. So she's like, fuck this. I'm going to go and kill some people. And Wolf is tired of sleeping on the hay. He wants to sleep in the bed in the house. So he goes in and seduces Dasha. Actually, he doesn't have to really try that hard. All he does is drink some water, lets it dribble down his chin, and she ends up licking it off of him. And he takes her over to the bed. And what does she do? She just hikes up her skirt and bends over, and he goes, "Oh, Dasha, what have they done to you?" And then we get the montage of Corey Hart sung in Russian, which I was again laughing my ass off. This show just, it sells everything on all levels. And she, of course, just rides the crowd as she says, she jumps up on top of him and goes, "Now it is time for me to plow your fields," and just goes to town on him, while Josh can hear this inside the the barn, and he's got his hands over his ears singing the muffle song. He's trying to sing the muffle song, and he's rocking back and forth, and he wants Tiger, of course, to sing with him, but Tiger is gone at this point. She's taken off. And later on, they're in the afterglow there, and Dasha rattles off this poetry of what Corey Wolfhart has awakened in her. And he says, "I don't know." Yeah, he goes, "Yeah, I don't understand a word of that, but do you want me to eat that ass again?" And she just looks at him and says, "Da." Which is the best fucking line out of this entire episode. I was just laughing my ass off. Do you want me to eat that ass again? And yeah, just some good shit. And then of course, the next morning, he's like, "All right, see you tonight." He leaves Dasha and takes Josh's shirt back because he grabbed Josh's shirt in order to sleep on it so that he wouldn't, of course, have to sleep on the hay. And he throws the shirt back at Josh when he comes back into the barn. He goes, "My God, it's wet. What the hell is this?" He goes, and Wolf says, "Well, that's mostly Dasha." Which I'm like, fuck. Oh, this show is just wrong on so many levels. So, of course, because of Corey Wolfhart's sweet, sweet love, Dasha has written a book, and it's a very popular book. It's even survived into the 3100s, and that's how they find that where they're at. That's how the Time Bureau finds out where our trio is at, and sends back the killing machine and a squad. And of course, but they see them coming, and Wolf says it's time to blow this beat stand. We got to get out of here, and he starts killing guys. Axe, as he's killing people with the axe, and then he pulls out one of the axes, and you get a blood spray, and he goes, "Body spray," which again, it's cheesy, but it just made me fucking laugh. It really did. But at the same time, Tiger has left behind the TTD device, and Josh has been talking to his friend as well, who we don't know who this is. This is in his head. He thinks it's God, but he says, no, I'm not a religious type. Just call me friend. And the friend basically says you need to get the TTD device from Tiger so that I can take you to my time where I'm at, or I can take you to me and I can take you home, is what he says. Hey, Raymond K. Hessel, Axe body spray. Exactly. And so Friend ends up teaching Josh how to use the TTD. First, you must imagine a square in 8 dimensions. Got that? Next step. I was trying to think about that. How do you imagine a square in 8 dimensions? And I couldn't wrap my mind around that one. So, of course, Tiger and Wolf end up killing all this squad except for the killing machine. They see him. And, of course, Tiger's out of ammo because she used it on the old man and the little boy that were laughing at her in the recruitment line for World War One. And didn't have enough ammo to go around. So, of course, Josh gets them out of there and deposits them right in the middle of Canada, in the middle of a French-Indian War. And that's where we leave off on the episode. I'm just gonna say that one line. I didn't understand a word of that, but do you want me to eat that ass again? That's gonna be the line for this entire series. I think is what this is. That kind of defines the series right here. It's hilarious. It really is, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. Again, I'm gonna keep going. I forgot. Dasha's husband. He makes it home from the war. And just as he's on the road, the killing machine actually cuts him in half and kills him. Was that poem from Dasha original or quoted? I have no idea. Quite honestly, Raymond K. Hessel. I'm not that cultured, obviously. As I was about to burp there for a second, I held it back in. So that's about as cultured as I get right there. Because, I don't want to burp on the air again. That's that's what happens when you work from home and you're trying to do this stuff too. And yeah, trying to do a little bit of both. It's juggling. Everyone's juggling right now. So, speaking of juggling, what else do I have going on? Tomorrow is going to be Star Wars: The Clone Wars. That's right, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and we're heading into the final 4 episodes after this. So this is actually, I forget now. Episode 8 is what this is that I'm doing tomorrow. I can't remember. And Thursday I'm off. Friday, of course, is the excellent Harley Quinn on DC Universe. If you're not watching it, give it a shot. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about and talk about it. And hopefully the internet doesn't crap out this time, where I actually have a decent stream and don't have to, just make a video out of it instead. Sunday, of course, is Westworld. Monday is Dispatches from Elsewhere on AMC, another excellent show. We come back around again to Future Man on Tuesday. Excuse me. Have you read Poetry to a Lady, Dennis? Have I read poetry? Quote him some lyrics, dude. That's pretty much about as close as I get right there. Yeah. Penn says it was beautiful and touching, and that's what made Wolf's crass response all the more funny. Yes, it was. I agree with you, Penn. She pours her heart out and basically says that, he's awoken not only her womanhood, but her humanity as well. And of course, he doesn't understand fucking word of it whatsoever. And then just asks her if, she wants another orgasm. And of course she does. So, did you set her womanhood aflame from the lyrics? Raymond K. Hassel, I can't remember. I don't like talking about that stuff. It's private stuff is what that is. No, I don't read comic books to women. Come on. No, I read other stuff too. Obviously, there's a book of Shakespeare down there, and all the sonnets. That's the complete works of Shakespeare, right down there. Actually, I think it might just be out of view. Where is it? There, somewhere right about there. There you go. Yeah. I do have The Vulgar Tongue up here someplace too, which is a small book about pirate lingo. It's all the pirate lingo you could ever want. And I was learning that for a little while there, just for my own edification whatsoever, because it does come in handy. I don't remember any of it now, but yeah, it's awesome. Some women would like you to read a comic to them. Really? I don't know. Well-rounded, yes. You have to have the pirate vulgar tongue out there. There you go. I'm not going to touch that one. There's too many jokes in that one. You already can make your own. So, with that said, oh God, and of course there we go. That's what happens when you drink this Topo Chico, my hipster water, if you will. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go for the evening. So thank you everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video, and I will see you again tomorrow for Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may wind up in a small little Russian farming for beets, and having to sing the muffle song to drown out what the hell Corey Wolfhart's doing to Dasha up in her room. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Stay safe.